Alright guys, so in this training we're going to be talking about the importance of reviewing sales calls, stacking data and evidence to guarantee growth. So every sales expert I encounter and every piece of training material or sales program or course always seems to emphasize one thing that stands out to me, and that's the notion that you either have it or you don't. So allow me to elaborate a bit more on this. This is where it all boils down to how you assess yourself and your environment. As someone who has achieved success in sales, generating hundreds of thousands of dollars in my own agency, I've come to realize that I wasn't born with it. Let me reiterate this point. I absolutely was not born for sales. I made the commitment to understand my skill level in sales and drew a fine line between the examples of others and my most recent success to collect data and insights that were producing positive results. Whether you're growing your own sales team or simply trying to create more of a feedback loop in your sales efforts, you need to make a habit of revisiting the facts. What I mean by this is that you need to track and review and then track and review again and again in order to pick up on the smallest or largest inconsistencies in your sales process and calls. Once you have built up significant evidence from all of your personal calls and performance tracking, you can create structures around best practices and specific things and frameworks that will help others adopt the correct sales process and frameworks that allowed you to be successful too. Using sales calls to identify common areas where objections arise and resistance is prominent will also help create awareness for you and your team, enabling you to be best prepared and equipped to handle those confrontations. Remember, there is no objection that cannot be overcome. There is no prospect that isn't closable because everyone has a set threshold for the pain and the money they are willing to spend to alleviate that pain. If you gamify the whole experience and view sales as a decision-making game where you are simply paired with someone to isolate a problem together, you will gain a better understanding for yourself as a founder and a consultant on how to review and create trainings around your own sales calls and new hires to your organization. Data and evidence are all we have in this world. The rest is theory. If it isn't documented and done by you or somebody else, it isn't true. To scale and improve your sales conversions and team, you need to take yourself back to the drawing board and always ask yourself and your team if that call was carried out with all the right frameworks and intentions. This is the only thing preventing you from closing 5 deals to closing 10 deals within the same month, or from going from $25,000 to $50,000 a month without having to increase your prices or take more sales calls. Once you have exhausted the feedback loop stage and are confident in your frameworks to be proven, and you have a reasonably high conversion rate, that's when you look to book more calls and more consultants to your organizations. Until then, be very considerate of what the best course of actions are and be vigilant when it comes to storing sales calls and reviewing KPIs and data to create the most consistent growth in your own journey or your sales team.